Hey everybody! Welcome. As you saw in the video, today we are going to be doing a crochet and chat. If you saw my last crochet and chat, we're actually going to be working on the same project. It's this baby blanket. I'm doing corner to corner and I'm using the Big Twist Living yarn in the color, I think it's called Bright Rainbow or something like that. But yeah, I haven't really made that much progress since the last crochet and chat I did, but this is how much I have left of the first skein, so my goal is to get through this skein in this video at least. But yeah, we have just been like so busy with life lately, as I'm sure y'all are too. It's the holidays. Actually, this video is coming out the day after Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, I hope that you had a lovely and relaxing Christmas with your friends and family. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then I hope that you are having a wonderful holiday season and a lovely winter so far. And I hope you have a happy New Year's, because this video is before New Year's and after Christmas. And yeah, we've been really busy. We have just started packing for our move. If you didn't know, I'm moving not too far away, just a few hours away, on January 1st. So we have just kind of started packing. When I'm filming this, it is December 14th. It's the 16th. I don't know why I thought it was, wow. Anyways, I actually just packed up all of my yarn yesterday, which is pretty sad. I left out a few things, like for example, to work on this baby blanket because I really need to get this done. But yeah, I have a lot of yarn. Definitely took a few boxes to pack all of my yarn away. So that was a realization that I had. I knew I had a lot of yarn, okay? It's just when you have to pack it all up to move it, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of yarn. But yeah, it's starting to finally feel real. We took down all of our decor in the house and it's looking kind of bare bones, but I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of set up a new space and set up a new craft room. I'll definitely make a video doing that. I think it'll be fun to kind of see the transformation of the space. So, but yeah, and then besides that, like the holidays in general, I think are just kind of like stressful for people, which is really unfortunate because, you know, the holidays are supposed to be a time of like peace and calming and joy and all this, but our society just like decided to make it so stressful. I feel like I don't celebrate Christmas in the traditional sense, and so for me it really is just about spending time with family, and I don't like how gift centric it can be. I would honestly be happy if I never got another Christmas gift again. I don't really feel the need to exchange gifts, but I do understand like it is fun and I do like giving gifts, so but at the same time it can be really stressful. And at the beginning of the holiday season I had it in my mind that I was gonna make all of these gifts for people, and then reality kind of hit and I realized that it's just unrealistic, and my mental health ended up being more important to me than homemade gifts for people, because and we're moving, like trying to make all these gifts for people, and then they would end up being gifts that like I'm not even sure that they would really want, or like, you know. So in the end I just kind of decided that only a few people were going to be getting homemade gifts, because I just can't do it. So I really applaud anyone who hand makes all of their gifts. That is very impressive. Let me know if you made any homemade gifts this year and how that went for you. Yeah, in my family we do like kind of Secret Santa, but it's not a secret. We just like draw names out of a hat because there's so many of us, so we just have to get like one person a gift, and we try to make them homemade because it's special. So that's like not too bad. But one homemade gift isn't that bad. But if I have to make a homemade gift for every single person on my Christmas list, then it becomes a lot. But yeah, just decided to kind of take it easy this Christmas and not go too all out with the Christmas gifts. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on gift giving in general and Christmas gifts. Like, are you really into gift giving? Is that your love language? Speaking of that, I thought it would be kind of fun to just like talk about some of my unpopular opinions, specifically with like crochet and crafting, because I have some, and I've been seeing a lot of topics on the subreddit Craftsnark recently that have just kind of like piqued my interest, and I thought it might be interesting to talk about a little bit. My opinions are like, they're just my opinions, you know, like who really cares what I think at the end of the day. But that being said, I am going to tell you I'm going to tell you what I think. feel free to agree or disagree with anything that I'm about to talk about. Okay, so number one, and I know I've talked about this before, but I don't love when people tell me that I should sell my crochet stuff. And I understand where they're coming from, and I know they're just trying to be nice and tell me that they like it, but we live in this like hustle culture society. Like, you need a side hustle. Like, if you're good at something, you should monetize it. And I don't know, I just like to enjoy my hobby and enjoy my craft, and I don't want to sell my stuff because I feel like as soon as I start selling my stuff, all of a sudden I'm gonna have so much pressure on it, and there's gonna be so much pressure on making sure everything is perfect and making sure that the customer gets exactly what they want because they're paying for it. And not to mention all of the additional business side of things that come along with selling your stuff. You know, I just know myself, and I know that if I start selling my finished products, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much, and I don't want to not enjoy something that I started purely for my own enjoyment, you know? Because then what do I have to get away from work? If my hobby becomes my job, then yeah, how do you escape? How do you escape work? I just don't think it's for me. I don't think it would work out. Not to mention, I'm not really a huge perfectionist, but that's because the things I make are usually for myself, and I don't care if there's mistakes in the things I make for myself, if that makes sense. But as soon as I'm making something for someone else, I become a perfectionist with it, and I get really, really like nitpicky with myself. And yeah, if I was selling my work, it would be tenfold. So no, I don't want to sell my work. I understand why people say that, but I don't want to. And honestly, I don't want to have to explain myself either. Okay, second unpopular opinion. I don't really know if this is that unpopular, but I have just seen so many people say that they will start a project without doing a gauge swatch. And I guess like I have started a project without doing a gauge swatch before, and it really burnt me. And I am now like just at the point where I don't understand why you wouldn't do the gauge swatch, because you're gonna put in all of this time and effort and money because of the yarn and the pattern into a project. Like, don't you want it to be perfect? And the gauge swatch only takes like an extra like what, 20 minutes? You know, and if you have to block it, I guess maybe it's a little bit longer, but like in the long run, how many hours are you putting into that project? You know, like, I don't know, in the long run, the gauge swatch is nothing as far as time committed to a project. I don't know. People who don't do a gauge swatch, like, I want to live as carefree as you. Unpopular opinion number 3 is I don't like most crocheted blankets. And the reason for that is they usually have holes in them. And not always, but like a granny square blanket has holes in it. And I don't want that in my blanket, because I just picture my little toes sticking out in the little holes, and I can appreciate a crochet blanket with a holier stitch, but it's just not for me. Even this is like pushing it, the corner to corner. I don't know. I think most crochet blankets are not for me. That's just my opinion. Okay, next unpopular opinion is yarn barf is like not that big of a deal for me. Like, I don't really understand why it makes so many people upset. I can see, you know, it being a little bit messy, but most of the time, like, you're gonna get through the yarn barf in your project pretty quickly, and then it'll be gone, and then you'll have a lovely center pull. I will take yarn barf over bouncing skeins any day, so not that big of a deal to me. Piggybacking off of that, I don't think weaving in ends is that bad either. And I will cut my yarn a zillion times and have a zillion ends to weave in if it means I don't have to deal with tangled yarn. Because as soon as my yarn gets tangled, like to the point where it's frustrating for me, I will cut it, and so what? I have an extra end to weave in. Like, that's not the end of the world for me. So I don't know. I think that like with weaving in ends, I just like get in a groove. Like, I like to do like all of the same color. Like, if I have like multiple colors like on a tapestry or something, I'll do like all of the blue and then I'll cut all the blue, and then I'll do all the red, and then I'll cut all the red, and it's very satisfying to me. I actually really enjoy it. So yeah, that is definitely, I think that's definitely an unpopular opinion, but let me know if you agree with me that yeah, weaving in ends is just like not that bad. I don't really mind it. Okay, next is I think that people are allowed to gatekeep. Okay, hear me out. If someone has taken years to perfect their skill and tried all these different products and all these different techniques and found something that works for them, they shouldn't have to feel obligated to tell you how exactly to make the product that they're selling or to do the skill that they do, if that makes sense. You know, like if I spend years trying different formulas and different techniques and different products for, I don't know, resin crochet hooks, and I come out with a product that I'm really proud of and took me a really long time to develop, I shouldn't have to tell everyone what products I use and how exactly I do things. I don't know. I feel like this is an unpopular opinion, but like if you have taken all of this time to perfect your skill, like you shouldn't feel obligated to tell everyone how to do it. Because at the end of the day, if someone's asking you how to do something and they really want to know, they can go through all the trial and error themselves too. And arguably, like that's kind of the fun of it, right? Like sometimes like trying new things and not necessarily being really good at those things right away is like half the fun. You know, like at least for me, yeah, definitely think that that is an unpopular opinion. I don't even know if you would consider that gatekeeping, but I think people are allowed to gatekeep their skills. All right, I'll do one more unpopular opinion. At least I think it's unpopular. I don't know. Maybe it's not though. Like definitely let me know. But I don't like being gifted yarn. Hear me out. I don't like being gifted yarn, but at the same time, I want your unused yarn. If that makes sense. How do I explain this? I don't want you to go and buy yarn for me because I have a lot of yarn, and a lot of the yarn I don't have an idea of what I'm gonna do with it. So I don't need you to go and buy me more yarn. And like, I just would rather your money be spent elsewhere, even if it's a gift card, because who's to say I even like that kind of yarn? If you're gonna go out and spend your money on a gift for me, I'd rather it not be yarn because A, I have so much of it. B, people can be particular about what kind of yarn they like. I'd rather that you spend your money on something else. I don't really know if that makes sense. But that being said, if you already have yarn that you bought for yourself however long ago and you don't think you're gonna use it anymore and you just wanna like throw it away or donate it, I'll take that yarn. Because you didn't go out of your way and spend money on yarn for me. You just already had the yarn and you're not gonna use it, and I will take that yarn from you. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want someone to spend money on yarn for me, but if they already have the yarn, I'll take it. Does that make sense? Does anybody else feel like that? I don't know. Like, I have a lot of yarn and I don't need any more yarn, but if you're getting rid of it anyways, like... Alright, I think I'm gonna conclude this video here. Those are just some unpopular opinions that I have. I think I have more. Let me know if you think like these weren't that unpopular. If you're like, Killian, like I think that too. Let me know, because I've just seen some discourse about some of these topics, so I'm looking at you. Weaving in ends. Yeah, definitely let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments down below, and let me know if you have any other unpopular opinions that maybe I didn't mention, or let me know if you totally disagree with me about some things. Totally fine. I won't be offended, I promise. That's gonna conclude this video. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Viney_Maple, which is the same way as here. I'll see you there, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!